Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just be officially updating you on some more current transfer rumours and gossip. So obviously going to keep you up to date with what players are supposedly set to come to Manchester United. Also going to give you the news what players are supposedly set to leave Manchester United and all that. So there is of course lots of speculation going on in the media. So we are going to give you breaking news now in regards to Romelu Lukaku. So I do believe the Manchester United squad returned from China this morning to return to Manchester, and reportedly Romelu Lukaku immediately left Manchester to board a flight to Belgium, to reportedly meet up with his agent Federico Pastorella over the potential move to Inter Milan. So reportedly, this morning when we did return to Manchester, Lukaku, immediately left Manchester, and of course, went and got he boarded a flight, to Belgium and that. So I do believe Lukaku is set to hold negotiations with his current agent over the potential move to Inter Milan. So I do believe now Lukaku's move to Inter Milan, is reportedly close and all that. But we do know for the entirety of the summer that Lukaku has been linked to a move to Inter Milan, and we do know for the majority of the summer that Lukaku, of course, has been speaking about his proposed move to Inter Milan. But I do believe Manchester United do need to sell Lukaku, definitely need to sell Lukaku, because I do think it will be very beneficial for the club. I also think it will be very beneficial for Romelu Lukaku, because obviously we do know now he's served to requirements at Manchester United, because obviously since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice preference has been Marcus Rashford ahead of Romelu Lukaku. And Lukaku, of course, he's going to find game time very difficult, because obviously we've got the likes of Rashford in our attacking line, we've got Daniel James in our attacking line, we've got Martial in our attacking line. Now we've got Mason Greenwood, of course, who's going to be assured more playing time this season, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. So basically Mason Greenwood is going to get promoted into the first team. Obviously we've got Chong, that's the upcoming future. So I think Lukaku definitely needs to leave the football club, and I do believe if we can sell him, it will help us with our rebuilding process, and definitely will help us with our transition. But Inter Milan have been in several talks with Manchester United over getting a deal concluded. I do believe that Lukaku's agent has actually been in Milan this week, because obviously Lukaku's agent has obviously held quite a few talks and that over Inter Milan. Obviously we do know if Lukaku leaves the football club, I do believe we are going to need an adequate replacement for him. But potentially we basically said to Inter Milan, we want around 75 or 80 million pounds. So basically, we're looking to recoup the money that we did pay for Lukaku a couple of years ago from Everton, or we're maybe orchestrating on getting a little bit of a profit. And I do believe we overspent on Lukaku, because we did pay 75 million pounds for him. Obviously, there were 15 million add-ons included in the deal, which did potentially rise it to 90 million pounds. And obviously, Lukaku is our second most expensive signing. Confirmed was it a week or two back that Inter Milan's director travelled to London to obviously hold negotiations with Manchester United. Obviously quite recently Inter Milan put a £54 million bidding, but Manchester United turned this down. Also Inter Milan have inquired about getting him on a 2-year loan. Reportedly they'd offered a 2-year loan worth around £9 million up front, with then the obligation to buy for the further £54 million at the end of the loan. But obviously Manchester United didn't entertain this offer, because we're only willing to let Lukaku of course go on a permanent deal. But like I said, Antonio Conte has identified, Romelu Lukaku as his number one target. Reflecting back a couple of years ago when Antonio Conte was the manager of Chelsea at that point, of course, wanted Romelu Lukaku, but of course, Lukaku ended up making the move to Manchester United. So basically, Antonio Conte has been a long admirer of the player. Obviously, Lukaku himself is keen on playing under Antonio Conte's guidance. He's keen on playing under Antonio Conte's guidance, because he recently described Antonio Conte as one of the best managers in the world. So I think Lukaku is keen on playing under Antonio Conte's guidance. But I do believe Inter Milan have been trying to offload a couple of their players to help them generate funds to meet that 75 or 80 million pound valuation. But of course Inter Milan have struggled to do this. But Inter Milan, as I do believe, are under financial fair play restrictions. I do believe Inter Milan are trying to offload Mario Icardi, because obviously Mario Icardi's found himself service to requirements in Inter Milan. Obviously we do know Mario Icardi lost the captaincy, was it back in February, and I think actually Mario Icardi has been linked to a move to Juventus. Also we're unwilling to accept swap deals that Inter Milan have offered us, because obviously Inter Milan have tried offering us Mario Icardi for Romelu Lukaku. They've also tried offering us Ivan Perisic, chairman that I thought of Romelu Lukaku. But reports indicated that was more than a month ago now, saying that reportedly Lukaku had agreed a personal terms with Inter Milan. It also said he had agreed a contract worth around 180 grand a week. But I think our valuation seems to be the stumbling block of Lukaku making his proposed move to Inter Milan. So yeah, it reportedly said over a month ago now that the personal terms and that had currently been agreed. But we do know Lukaku's still got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United. He's still 26 years of age. He has still got a lot of development in him. Obviously, he has been at the club 2 years as Romelu Lukaku. He's scored 42 goals in 96 games for us in all competitions. Lukaku was exceptional in his first season, but didn't really replicate this, of course, in his second season and all that. But he was really, really good in his first season was Lukaku. And you do know I've got strong concerns about him anyway. To be fair, Lukaku's goal scoring pedigree in the Premier League is very, very good. His ratio is good because he scored a lot of goals in the Premier League. But you do know I've got strong concerns about him. I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has held talks with Romelu Lukaku. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say he wants Romelu Lukaku to stay at the football club for one more season. But actually, Lukaku confirmed the other week, of course, that he does currently want to leave the football club. But I did initially say anyway we need to sell players, to probably generate funds and currently rebuild the squad. And I do believe we definitely don't need to sell players. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is very adamant that we don't need to sell players. Obviously, Solskjaer has spoken to the vast majority of our players this summer, and we're not obviously not intending on overspending on our transfer tags. So quite a few people said, look, we should be sensible in that of our recruitment this summer. But like I said, Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku have both been relentlessly linked to a move away from the football club, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative they are. But I think if we were to sell them, we could probably generate at least 150 million pounds, maybe even more than 150 million pounds. We could generate and all that. But if Lukaku does leave the football club, we're definitely going to need a replacement for him. But I think Lukaku's too slow. He hasn't got Lender's potential. Really doesn't really get enough of them runs in behind. His first touch concerns me. He's a big game bottler. So I think Manchester United, definitely need to move him on. I think there's also been talks going on about Juventus being in there for Romelu Lukaku as well. I think Juventus have actually currently been in there for him. Recent reports I think have said that Juventus are willing to offer Paul Dybala as part of the deal. So maybe whether Manchester United are willing to go along with this or not, I do not know. But yeah, obviously, Inter Milan, I think now anyway, are preparing to put a new bid in for him. I think initially we've basically imposed a deadline on Lukaku's transfer to Inter Milan, so we're giving Inter Milan a certain amount of time, to currently meet our £75 million valuation. But like I said, there's only currently now just under 2 weeks now remaining this transfer window, and I did basically say, Manchester United have got to be more competitive in this window. Solskjaer did initially say. Was it back in March? Well, it was. I think it was the end of last season. Should I say that? He said, he wanted to get at least 5 new additions to the squad. Obviously, so far this summer, we spent £65 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka. But obviously, we need more than Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want to build on this, and I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priorities, will be to recommend an experienced centre half in. He'll also want to add reinforcements in that midfield. He'll also, want to bring a right winger in. So for me, these are still lots to currently address in the squad, because obviously we're looking to bring players in that are going to fit the culture of the club, and that of course are going to fit the history of the club. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to build a squad worthy of the club's history. But like I said, just under 2 weeks now remaining in this window, analysing our current squad at the moment, I don't think it's competitive enough. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was recently speaking about our ambitions for this season in the Premier League, and he believes we'll be aiming for third or third and fourth. I do believe we'll have a better season this season. I think we'll probably maybe finish in the top 4, maybe in the top 3, but I'm very, very sceptical about Manchester United winning the league this season, because analysing it at the moment, City's strides ahead of us, Liverpool's strides ahead of us, and I think our expectations this season will be probably at least to finish in the top 4, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got to exceed these expectations, but I don't think we'll win the Premier League this season, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But Solskjaer did say back in March, late March it was, he wanted our transfer business completed by the time we initially went on pre-season. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks confirmed, he's looking to get 1 or 2 more players in before this window does shut. I do believe that Ed Woodward has remained in the UK, to obviously oversee our current transfer business, because obviously Ed Woodward obviously wants to get deals and that completed. Obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recommend young players into Manchester United this summer that can grow, develop and that and emulate in superstars. And I think we also need a bit more experience in the team. In that attacking line, I think we need some experience, because obviously in that attacking line now, we have have got pace now. We've got more pace in that attacking line, and that was, you know, something we was lacking last season, was that pace, and this is why I wasn't good enough in the attacking third of the pitch. We might have created chances last season, but obviously we wasn't scoring enough goals. This is why, you know, obviously we wasn't ruthless enough in that front of goal. But, you know, we've got pace in that attacking line. You've got Daniel James, that's got electrifying pace. You've got Martial, that's got electrifying pace. You've got Rashford, that's got a fantastic pace and all that. But we've obviously, you know, got Mason Greenwood, you know, he's the upcoming future. Chon, he's the upcoming future. But I think we need someone experienced in our current attacking line. So, like I said, if Lukaku leaves the football club, you know, we're definitely not going to currently need replacement for him without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, was recently, you know, talking about our recruitment policy. This is what, you know, he's basically saying. But last season was a huge disappointment. You know, we finished sixth. You know, we didn't win in terms of silverware, and we did fail to qualify for the Champions League. And, you know, Champions League football is always very pivotal. You know, when you do want to get them players to the elite level, and, you know, it's always very pivotal. You know, when you do want to convince your imperative players to stay at the football club. But like I said, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't get all the players that he wants in this window, you know, you can basically say that the board have let him down, because actually the board assured that there was going to be backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer. But I do believe, you know, we've had a fantastic start to pre-season. I've been very, very impressed. Obviously with Lukaku, obviously he's not yet played in pre-season anywhere. As Lukaku obviously has not made one appearance. So obviously, you know, that's added more speculation in regards to his long-term future. Allegedly, he's supposedly is allegedly being injured as Lukaku, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did, as I currently confirmed. Allegedly, you know, he's had some kind of ankle problem. Solskjaer did say prior to the Tottenham game that Lukaku had been working with physios for the last couple of days, but he did say, you know, he wasn't currently, you know, going to be fit enough to participate. So yeah, so now, like I said, we've had a great start to pre-season. You know, we've won 4 out of 4. You know, we've scored 9 goals, only 1 goal conceded. And, you know, I think the young players have really stepped up so far in pre-season. This is the thing I do like about pre-season, because obviously, you know, it gives them upcoming players more experience and that under their current belt. There's only now 2 games remaining in pre-season. You know, we've got Kristiansund on the 30th of this month. That's in Norway, where originally Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is from. And then obviously, you know, our last game of pre-season is AC Milan in Cardiff. And then obviously, you know, we look forward to the, you know, new season in the Premier League. You know, we start against Chelsea in the new Premier League season. That's actually, you know, going to be quite a difficult game. It's Chelsea at Old Trafford, and but yeah, I want to see vast improvements in that this season. But we are analysing our recruitment policy in the last couple of windows anyway. It's been very, very poor, because obviously, you know, we didn't get anyone in January. You know, we didn't get as number 1 targets last summer, because reflecting back last summer when we had Jose Mourinho, you know, the board weren't backing the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend to come in. But, you know, we spent a lot of money. Manchester United have spent a hell of a lot of money. You know, especially in recent years, we've spent big money on players. You know, and you know, that's in the last couple of years. You know, we got Pogba for 89 million, our most expensive signing. You know, Lukaku worth £75 million, and I do believe we're actually, you know, moving away from the policy and we're signing them well-established players. But like I did say, you know, guys, you know, we've basically, you know, still got to revitalise the squad. And if, you know, we do want to get back to being a competitive elite level football club and get back up there winning trophies, we have got to get the right type of players to Manchester United and all that. Obviously, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer arrived, you know, we have seen 3 players depart the football club. Obviously, you know, Antonio Valencia left after he served a decade with Manchester United. Obviously, you know, we saw Ander Herrera leave on a free transfer, so it's very imperative that we get a replacement for him. And of course, Fellaini left back in the January transfer window. So I do believe we need to, you know, basically sell players like I did currently say, guys. But like I said, we might have been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, and, you know, the main factor reason why we've been a toxic club, because obviously, you know, we've been mismanaged. You know, this is the main factor reason, of course, where we have been underachieving. But, you know, we might have been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, but we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know, we are the most successful team in England, you know, historically. You know, we've got a fantastic stadium, you know, one of the best in the UK. We've got a fantastic fan base, and we are still a massive, massive club and all that. And, you know, since Ferguson's left, it seems to have all gone wrong. Since Ferguson's left, we've had obviously had 3 managers that have obviously been sacked. We've had different managers with different philosophies. Like I said, a hell of a lot of money's been spent into the football club over the years, but I hope it works out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is following Alex Ferguson's philosophy, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer believes he's following a policy that proved successful under Alex Ferguson. But I'm backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I hope it works out for him, and I hope even if it does go wrong this season, I hope we can just still give him a bit more time, because I don't want us to sack him, because I love him a lot, and we haven't got the structure, as you well know, to keep sacking managers. And but like I said, hopefully you can get Manchester United back to glory. So with Lukaku, his transfer saga away from Manchester United does continue to persist, but now reportedly, like I said, he's immediately left Manchester, to go to Belgium, his homeland, to go and meet up with his agent over his potential move to Inter Milan. So that's actually the latest news by Romelu Lukaku. But like I said, players that are supposedly coming to Manchester United. One of the players is Milinkovic Savic from Lazio. Now I have been updating you about him on a regular basis. Now, obviously, reports have been emerging out this week about Milinkovic Savic. This actually stemmed from La Repubblica. It's an Italian outlet. They basically said that Manchester United are closing in on signing Milinkovic Savic from Lazio. Now, it reportedly says that Manchester United have had breakthrough in negotiations with Lazio. Reports are reflected out this week. I think it actually came out yesterday, saying that Milinkovic Savic's agent had arrived in the UK, in London, to obviously thrash out a deal for his client to join Manchester United. I do believe Manchester United have had quite a few negotiations with Milinkovic Savic's agent, but reportedly Manchester United have been in talks with Lazio for quite some time. But it does reportedly say, it says a fee's been agreed, a contract's been agreed. So reportedly we've agreed to get him. We've agreed around around 75 million euros, which equates to around just over 67 million in pounds sterling. And reportedly, I think there's add-ons included in the deal. So I think it does potentially rise to around 71 million. So we're going to get him in a deal reportedly worth around 71 million pounds. Reportedly, Milinkovic Savic has also agreed a 5-year deal with Manchester United, which will take him under contract to Old Trafford until 2024. And it did initially say he was set to earn around 6 million euros a year. But Lazio have actually agreed to sell Milinkovic Savic. Obviously, I think Milinkovic Savic himself had notified his Lazio teammates that he is going to be leaving Lazio this summer. And so do you think he would be a good potential replacement for Paul Pogba? Because obviously we've emerged him as a priority target to replace Paul Pogba and not at the football club. But we do know we've been relentlessly linked with Milinkovic Savic, because he was obviously not in for Milinkovic Savic last summer. So he's been linked with Manchester United for the last year. Was in for him last summer under the Jose Mourinho era. I do believe Lazio wanted over £100 million last summer, obviously. And it came out about this, was it the other week? It was coming from Sky in Italy. It was initially reported in Sky Sports, but they basically said that Manchester United submitted around the £72 million bid. Obviously that at that point that was too insufficient for Lazio, because the other week the Lazio president confirmed that Lazio wanted somewhere in the region of around £90 million. But now recent reports have emerged out this week saying that Lazio have lowered their initial asking price, and they want from between 70 to 80 million pounds. But Milinkovic Savic, like I said, he hasn't played in the Premier League game as yet, but I do believe if he comes to Manchester United, he probably will succeed. He will exceed expectation levels, and him coming to the Premier League, he will rejuvenate his career anyway. He's been at Lazio 4 years. Obviously, in all competitions, he's made 138 appearances, scored 31 goals, and in the Serie A, he's scored 22 goals in 125 games. So he has proven in the majority of his 4-year period at Lazio in Italy, that he can score goals, he can create chances. I do believe he's technically a very, very good footballer. Like I said, 24 years of age, he's Serbian. He is primarily a central midfielder, so mainly a box-to-box midfielder, and that's obviously one of the areas where Manchester United have got to strengthen up. I think he can actually also be deployed as an attacking midfielder, if I'm right. He's still got around 3.5-4 years left on his deal with Lazio, because I think he signed a new deal with Lazio last October. But look, it could actually be looking very likely. He's going to be our third signing this summer. So obviously, if we get the deal over the line for him, I think supposedly it's supposed to be around £71 million. Then obviously we've spent £65 million this summer, so that will take our spending to around £135 or £136 million so far this summer on free players. players. I do believe if we do make any more signings, I probably think we'll only sign 1 or 2 more players, even though there's a lot more than 2 players in our agenda. But I can't see us getting 3 or 4 players, within the space of just under 2 weeks. So if we get any more signings in and we do more transfer activity, I think we might get another player in or another 2 players in and all that. But Milinkovic Savic, we've seen him as a replacement for Paul Pogba. I would be actually quite sceptical of just Milinkovic Savic being Paul Pogba's replacement, because obviously you can't put Milinkovic Savic in Paul Pogba's calibre or level, because obviously Paul Pogba is one of the best midfielders in the world. And I think I would be happy with Bruno Fernandes and Milinkovic Savic to come in, because obviously because looking at it, ultimately, Bruno Fernandes and Milinkovic Savic, would definitely, improve his area in that midfield. So I'd like them 2 players to be our replacements for Paul Pogba. I would be very, very sceptical about, just Milinkovic Savic being the replacement, of course, for Paul Pogba. But I do believe now if Milinkovic Savic does come to Manchester United anywhere, that means that, our move, Bruno Fernandes' move to Manchester United, could be in serious jeopardy. Now, Bruno Fernandes, of course, was initially, one of our priority targets. Now it reportedly says now the recent stories have been coming out about Milinkovic Savic that we have prioritised signing him now over Bruno Fernandes. But I do believe with the Bruno Fernandes transfer saga, to Manchester United, obviously it does continue to persist. But I do believe for quite some time that Sporting Lisbon's valuation is seen to be the stumbling block of Bruno Fernandes making his proposed move to Manchester United, because obviously we haven't got. I thought we'd got a deal over the line now for Bruno Fernandes, but obviously we can't come to an agreement on a fee with Sporting Lisbon, and I do believe Sporting Lisbon are definitely not playing hardball. Sporting Lisbon initially valued Bruno Fernandes at around £70 million, and of course Manchester United are reluctant to pay this. I think it initially said earlier on this week, according to a board of the Portuguese press, it got reported out saying that we are orchestrating on putting around a 49 or £50 million bid, but obviously this figure is going to be too insufficient for Sporting Lisbon, because quite recently Federico Varandas, who was the president of Sporting Lisbon, he basically came out and he basically notified Manchester United, what fee we probably would have to pay to convince Sporting Lisbon to offload Bruno Fernandes. So I think we'd have to pay upwards of £56 million, because Federico Varandas said that maybe even £56 million isn't going to be enough, to convince Sporting Lisbon, to offload him. But yeah, like I said, for the entirety of the summer, Bruno Fernandes has been linked to move to Manchester United. Talks have been going on for quite some time, between Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon. And he did say if Bruno Fernandes was to come to Manchester United, if he was to come to Manchester United, reportedly, we'd give him around £100,000 a week. That's his contract, which obviously equates to around 5.5 million a year. But quite recently, the Sporting Lisbon boss, he's aware of the speculation about Bruno Fernandes, and he's had his say on all of the speculation. He said that Bruno Fernandes could leave Sporting Lisbon. He's not too sure yet, but he did say his future is up in the air. He does admit, the boss of Sporting Lisbon, I can't remember his name, but he does admit that it's going to be hard for Sporting Lisbon to find an adequate replacement. But he is aware that clubs are keen on signing Bruno Fernandes and all that. So this is what basically the Sporting Lisbon boss has said. But I think Sporting Lisbon are coming to accept the fact now that Bruno Fernandes wants to leave to obviously rejuvenate his career and take his footballing career to the next level. So it still remains uncertain, where he will be applying his trade this season, because it isn't assured that Bruno Fernandes, is coming to Manchester United. I think his move to Manchester United is still on. He's still on. I'm not as convinced that we'll get Bruno Fernandes as I was, early on this week or last week and all that. But yeah, his move to Manchester United is still a possibility. I was reading Sky Sports yesterday, like you updated you on it. It actually said from Sky Sports, this was stemming from Sky Sports, that it said Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United now is unlikely to happen, because it reportedly said that the majority of the speculation about Bruno Fernandes has actually most of it's been stemming from Portugal rather than Manchester. So potentially we're doing other teams have been in for him. Tottenham have been in for him. Liverpool and that have been in for him. Obviously, Tottenham held quite a few negotiations with his agent, because Bruno Fernandes' agent has been in the UK quite a few times. I think he was recently in the UK this weekend, if I'm right. He's obviously held quite a few negotiations there with Manchester United, but Bruno Fernandes' agent is looking for the best possible deal and that for his client. But I do believe quite a few weeks ago that Bruno Fernandes was actually talking with his representatives about a potential move to Manchester United. So I think initially his actual first choice preference is Manchester United, is Bruno Fernandes, as far as I'm aware, salary anywhere. And I think, he actually initially said that he turned Tottenham down. He also turned Liverpool down. But we've seen glimpses of how good he is. In his 2 years with Sporting has been in Portugal. Obviously, Sporting has been recently drew 2-2 with Liverpool. In pre-season, was it? In New York, Bruno Fernandes got a goal. He also provided an assist. But yeah, like I said, Liverpool have been in for him. Tottenham have been in for him. We know with Tottenham, they're looking to do more transfer activity this summer. With Tottenham, obviously, they've got 2 players so far on the board this summer. But obviously, I think Tottenham are intending on spending an extortionate amount. So Tottenham have got quite a few other players on their agenda. I still believe, they are in there for Bruno Fernandes. But like I said, Sporting Lisbon haven't been reliable, because reflecting back a couple of months ago, it was looking like Bruno Fernandes was going to be going to Manchester City. Basically Sporting Lisbon assured he was going to be going to Manchester City, but it had initially confirmed that Manchester City had withdrawn their interest. So Bruno Fernandes has been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons. Last season he scored 32 goals in 50 games for them. Like I said, if he comes to Manchester United, he'll rejuvenate the team. He'll win us them goals that we need in that midfield, and he'll have depth in that in our current midfield. Obviously, his initial release clause is £88 million, which is obviously now this is a thing that Manchester United are not determined to meet. We're not determined to go anywhere near that £88 million figure, and he's still under contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. So the transfer saga about Bruno Fernandes, does currently continue to persist, but it still remains uncertain, where he will be applying his trade this season. I do believe Sporting Lisbon also won the Portuguese Cup last season. So yeah, I think now, if Milinkovic Savic comes in, now that Bruno Fernandes moved to Manchester United, could be in jeopardy. But I think Bruno Fernandes and Milinkovic Savic, would be looking at, collectively, they would definitely improve his in that current midfield. So now let's talk about Paul Pogba, as I have been updating you about Paul Pogba on a regular basis. Now, I initially said, Milinkovic Savic in, Paul Pogba out, as quite a few people are currently saying. So I think now Real Madrid are confident, they can currently sign Paul Pogba and all that. Now, I think Real Madrid have offloaded quite a few of their players this summer, and I do believe, they have generated around £100 million. But obviously, Real Madrid are looking to offload a couple of more players, to help them generate even more funds, to meet our 150 or our 160 million pound valuation, because this is what initially we do want for Paul Pogba. We actually well, it actually said a couple of weeks ago that we allegedly, risen our asking price. It initially said, want £180 million. Obviously, that's initially double than what we paid for him from Juventus back in 2016. Because obviously, we paid £89 million from Juventus back in 2016. But we're very adamant anyway that Paul Pogba is not for sale. We're very, very adamant, of course, that he's not currently for sale. But I still say in this market at this day and age that Paul Pogba is probably worth around 150 or 160 million pounds. Because obviously he's 26 years of age, he's still in his prime, and he is regarded as one of the best midfielders in the world. So I do believe Real Madrid are obviously willing to offload the likes of James Rodriguez. They're also willing to offload Gareth Bale and all that. And I think Real Madrid have actually been keen on including Gareth Bale in their bid to sign Paul Pogba, because it did say quite some time back that Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid, wasn't keen on a straight cash payment for Paul Pogba, because Real Madrid themselves have spent £300 million so far this summer on 5 players. So yeah, Real Madrid, I think, have actually offloaded quite a few of their current players. But for the entirety of the summer, Paul Pogba has been linked with move away from the football club. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been speaking a lot about Paul Pogba recently. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has also spoken to Paul Pogba in regards to his long-term future. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does know how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing everything he can, to try and convince Paul Pogba to remain at the football club, and all. So he did reportedly say last week, I think it was, as he updated on it, saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed that he has considered Paul Pogba for the captaincy, obviously in a bid to convince him to remain at the football club. I think is our captain at the moment, Mash Young, if I'm sure, or has no one got the captaincy at the moment. There has been quite a few players demanding that captaincy. Obviously we know with De Gea, he's obviously agreed a 6-year contract with the club, and I think it did say he wants to become Manchester United's captain. Obviously, it initially was Valencia, but obviously, Valencia left the club at the end of last season. So yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may consider giving Paul Pogba the captaincy, to try and convince him to remain at the football club. Obviously, we do know Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola. He came out a couple of weeks ago, and he basically said that Paul Pogba is in the process of leaving Manchester United. But basically, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, Manchester United can rebuild around Paul Pogba. He also did say that Manchester United can rebuild around Paul Pogba. He also said that he told Paul Pogba actually, that he doesn't need to leave the football club, to currently fulfill his ambitions. And he said the other week that he was willing to open negotiations of getting Paul Pogba a new contract again to try and convince him to remain at the football club. But Paul Pogba has got 2 years left on his contract with Manchester United, with an option to extend it by a further year. And of course, he is on around 290 grand a week. But Paul Pogba, I think, is keen on playing under Zinedine Zidane's guidance, because he probably believes he'll flourish under Zinedine Zidane's guidance. But reflecting back a while back, Paul Pogba, did say at some point in his career, he wants to play for Real Madrid, and he did classify Real Madrid as obviously, one of the biggest clubs in the world. But he actually, reports indicated that, was it over a month ago now? Obviously, Paul Pogba confirmed that, he's seeking for a new challenge. He publicly admitted that he wants to leave Manchester United. So obviously, Paul Pogba has confirmed that he does want to leave the football club. But like I said, he's been subjected to a hell of a lot of transfer speculation. So like I did say, it's going to be hard for us to, if Paul Pogba does leave the football club, it's going to be hard for us to find a player of Paul Pogba's calibre and level. But we sell Paul Pogba, will definitely generate over £100 million for his departure. And I think with the money we generate for his departure, we could probably get maybe 2 players to replace, maybe even 3 players in. So like I did say, I think Milinkovic, Savic and Bruno Fernandes would be the two right solutions. I would bring in, to replace Paul Pogba and that at the football club. But obviously, Juventus, there's been talks that Juventus, of course, have been in for Paul Pogba. Obviously, Juventus have held negotiations with Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola. Obviously, like I said, with Juventus, they've done good business this summer. So more than likely, anyway, Juventus would have to offload a couple of their essential players to fund the move for Paul Pogba, because I just don't think, Juventus would be able to afford him outright. Obviously, don't forget, Paul Pogba did have 4 good years in Turin. Hasn't really replicated this since he did rejoin Manchester United. But like I said, he hasn't really lived up to expectation levels at Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, he's started pre-season and that really well. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still knows how much an imperative player that Paul Pogba is. And his stats are still very impressive, because last season I think he made 47 appearances in all competitions, scored 16 goals, provided 11 assists. And I think since he rejoined the club in 2016, he obviously, he's scored 31 goals in 135 appearances or something like that, and he's obviously won the Europa League with us and the League Cup, and that came in his 2nd season with Manchester United. So he has been at the club now over 3 years as Paul Pogba. But like I said, if he does leave the football club, he probably will end up making the move to Real Madrid. So if Real Madrid can get rid of James Rodriguez, if they can get rid of the likes of Bale and that, I think then Real Madrid will be willing to meet that 150 or that 160 million pound valuation. But I think initially now we did allegedly say we'd actually risen our asking price. Now it says that reportedly we value Paul Pogba at around 180 million pounds. But maybe the couple of main factors reasons why Paul Pogba wants to leave, because maybe he feels as though he isn't playing amongst good enough players at Manchester United. Maybe, he wants to be in Champions League football. Manchester United can't give him this offer him that this season. Maybe he's frustrated with the lack of competitiveness at Manchester United. So maybe these are the couple of reasons why he does want to leave the football club. And like I said, if he leaves the football club anyway, we're definitely going to need a replacement for him, because obviously without Paul Pogba in that midfield, it's totally imbalanced. We're lacking that creativeness. But regardless of what happens with Paul Pogba anyway, I still think initially Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is orchestrating on bringing a couple of new additions in that midfield. But yeah, so like I said, what's going to happen is Milinkovic, Savic is going to come in, and probably Paul Pogba is going to leave. But I did initially say that Milinkovic, Savic's moved to Manchester United anyway. He could be actually dependent on what happens with Paul Pogba. But I do believe Savic would be a good signing to replace him. But I would be sceptical about him, just coming in to replace Paul Pogba. So if we added Bruno Fernandes to the equation as well of him coming in, that would be even more better for Manchester United. I do believe we also need to sell Darmian and Rojo. That's very imperative indeed, because I do believe Darmian and Rojo have both endured difficult times at Manchester United. With Darmian, his Manchester United career has been pretty bad, because he hasn't really been given the chance. And I think with Marcus Rojo, his Manchester United career has been mainly affected with the amount of injuries he has sustained. I think we've put around the 20 million price tag on Marcus Rojo. a 20 million price tag on him. I don't think any teams have come up with any offer as yet. Like I said, with Alexis Sanchez, obviously for the majority of the summer, was trying to get rid of Sanchez, but obviously, the club found it very difficult to get rid of Sanchez, based on his substantial wages. So obviously we found it very, very difficult to get rid of him. But we do know Sanchez is probably going to be remaining at the football club this season. Obviously hasn't yet played on pre-season as Sanchez, because obviously, he's currently been out he's been injured as Alexis Sanchez. There's quite a few players that have not yet made an appearance on tour. I don't think Demetri Mitchell has, because he's been injured. Fossil Mensah, I do believe, he's been injured. Lee Grant, and that's been currently injured. So quite a few haven't made an appearance. I said Lukaku, of course, hasn't made an appearance on tours because he's obviously not allegedly been currently injured. Yeah, and as I have been updating you on a regular basis, and in regards to Sean Longstaff from Newcastle, obviously we do know he's been one of our current targets. I'm very, very sceptical now about Sean Longstaff making his proposed move to Manchester United. And why I think this? Because obviously Newcastle don't want to sell Sean Longstaff, because obviously Newcastle have indicated out that Sean Longstaff not for sale. And basically it says if Newcastle were willing to offload Sean Longstaff, they would want at least around £50 million. And I think I'm very, very sceptical, of course, that Manchester United are willing to pay £50 million for Sean Longstaff. So very sceptical about that indeed. £50 million is too extortionate for a player of Sean Longstaff's calibre or level. So I just don't think we're willing to pay this. We have not yet made any official bid anywhere for Sean Longstaff. It did initially say, we was orchestrating on, putting around the £30 million bidding for him. Obviously, we've held high-level talks with Newcastle about Sean Longstaff. That got reported from Sky Sports a couple of weeks ago. But obviously, Steve Bruce has just been appointed, like I said, as Newcastle's new manager, following the dismissal of Rafa Benitez last month, because obviously Rafa Benitez currently resigned. Steve Bruce is obviously, he's aware of the speculation of Sean Longstaff, he's aware of the speculation about Sean Longstaff, supposedly coming to Manchester United, because obviously, like I said, Manchester United have been in for him. But Steve Bruce has confirmed that, Sean Longstaff's future lies with Newcastle, and basically, Steve Bruce has dismissed speculation, of Sean Longstaff, coming to Manchester United. So I think Steve Bruce confirmed that Sean Longstaff is part of his plans for the future, and that with Newcastle. But he's not worth £50 million, is Sean Longstaff. Like I said, we're not intending on overspending on our transfer targets, and he's not worth £50 million because he's still a prospect. He still needs time to develop. And don't forget, Sean Longstaff only made his senior debut for Newcastle in December of last year. Don't get me wrong, he did well in the second half of last season, and he's only got around, he made about 13 appearances in all competition last season, so he's only got around 13 games under his belt as Sean Longstaff. Like I said, he did thrive under Rafa Benitez's guidance. Obviously didn't play the last couple of months of last season, because obviously he had sustained a knee ligament injury and that back in March, and Sean Longstaff. And I think he got a new contract with Newcastle, so I think he signed a 4-year deal, so he's under contract with Newcastle until 2022, is Sean Longstaff. But he is 21 years of age. He's primarily a central midfielder, so mainly a boxer to box. But yeah, there's still reports going on about him. We only initially value him from between 18 to 20 million pounds, and of course Newcastle are demanding more than double that. And so yeah, I just don't see him, coming to Manchester United. Well, not in this current window anywhere. Not in this current window anyway. I don't think it's currently going to happen and all that. So yeah, like I said, there's been quite a few midfielders on our current agenda. Like I said, also Manchester United are in search for a central defender. Obviously, we need someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line, because I think we've had issues. Issues defensively now for several years now. Especially last season. We conceded 54 goals in 38 Premier League games, and I do believe we haven't had a good defence to rebuild on. Since we had the likes of Vidic, Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Patricia, because they were all good defenders, back under the Alex Ferguson era. So we've had problems defensively, for several years. And, there's been a lot of central defenders on our agenda. Obviously, we do know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's identified, Harry Maguire as his number one defensive target, like he updated you on my video today. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has instructed Ed Woodward, to complete a deal for Harry Maguire. And I think, now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to get the deal over the line as soon as possible. This is obviously, This is following the series injury that Eric Bailly had sustained in our 2-1 win over Tottenham yesterday. Eric Bailly, of course, I think he only come on as a substitute in the second half, and obviously only came on for 10 minutes, and obviously had to be stretchered off. He has sustained a serious knee injury, so I do believe he's a big doubt for the new season. Is Eric Bailly, and Eric Bailly, is an imperative player. He's got great potential, but I think Eric Bailly's Manchester United career has been mainly affected. The amount of injuries sustained. Obviously, not only with the amount of injuries sustained, I also believe with his fallout under managers, and he's been at the club over 3 years now as Bailly. I do believe paid around £30 million from Villarreal. But yeah, he's sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, but now reportedly, reflecting on this injury Eric Bailly sustained, now reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to get the deal over the line for Harry Maguire. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified him as his number one defensive target, and I do believe Harry Maguire, is a better option than what we've currently got in our central defensive area at the moment. Because the majority of our central defenders are not quite reliable, are they? They're not quite reliable. We've got Lindelof. I think he can be reliable. Lindelof, there was fast improvements in his game in his second season with Manchester United, and I do believe he'll flourish in this Manchester United team. Because analysing our current defence at the moment is currently not good enough, and that's why we've got to get someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. And obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to put Harry Maguire alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. I think Victor Lindelof himself is excited about the prospect of Harry Maguire linking up with him. But Victor Lindelof did struggle with consistency in his first season, didn't really settle in, but I thought, like I said, there was vast improvements of course in his second season. If we do get the deal over the line for Harry Maguire, I think we are actually orchestrating on selling a central defender, because we've got a lot of central defenders looking at, we've got likes of Smalling and Jones, they're no longer good enough to represent Manchester United. We've got Eric Bailly, we've got Rojo, we've got Alex Tuanzebe, we've got Lindelof, so we have got a lot of central defenders, like I currently said. But with Harry Maguire, I think we are actually in a pole position to currently sign the player. As you all know, Harry Maguire did tell his Leicester teammates and Brendan Rodgers last week, of course, that he does want to leave Leicester to obviously rejuvenate his career and take his footballing career to the next level. And I do believe Harry Maguire is keen on making a move to Old Trafford. So obviously, he does want to relish this opportunity. Does Harry Maguire, while he's currently got the chance. Obviously, Leicester has told Harry Maguire, well, Brendan Rodgers told Harry Maguire, that he can, join Manchester United, and that, as long as, we're willing to meet Leicester City's valuation. Obviously, Leicester City have confirmed that they do want the world record fee. So reportedly, Leicester have confirmed that they do want in the excess of around £80 million. So Manchester United, we may be now forced to meet that £80 million valuation following the injury of Eric Bailly. Obviously, some reports have said that Leicester want around £90 million for Harry Maguire, but I just don't think we'd be willing to pay £90 million, because that's far too extortionate. For £90 million, or maybe just a bit more, you'd be able to get Koulibaly with that current money. So I think Leicester are basically playing hardball, and I think Leicester City's valuation has seen for the stumbling block of Harry Maguire making his proposed move to Manchester United and all that. Obviously, we've already had a £70 million bid turned down for Harry Maguire. Don't currently forget that got reported out from Sky Sports about, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? But we've been in talks with Leicester for quite some time. I still believe we are in talks now with Leicester over coming to an agreement on a fee. Obviously, Manchester City have also been in talks with Leicester, because obviously City have been in there for Harry Maguire. Obviously, reflected back a couple of weeks ago, it was looking like the City were going to get him, because obviously City were orchestrating on giving him £280,000 a week. City were going to get him for a world record fee of £80 million, but it did confirm that City had initially withdrawn their interest, because City are only willing to pay around £65 million for him. City won't pay what Leicester are demanding, because obviously City were seeing him as a replacement for Vincent Kompany. His actual first choice preference a couple of weeks ago was actually a move to Manchester City over Manchester United and all that. But like I did currently say, it's quite a few times, it's twice it's come out about it now, saying that we've allegedly agreed a world record for Harry Maguire, and it said that we've agreed a fee of around £80 million. It came out on Sunday from Bleacher Report, saying that we agreed a deal with Leicester for Harry Maguire. He said the fee was around £80 million and all that. It got proven to be a load of nonsense. So So obviously, them stories on Sunday got proven to be cynical. Obviously, going back the other week when Duncan Castles allegedly said that we'd agreed an £80 million fee with Leicester for Harry Maguire. He said we'd pay £60 million up front, with £20 million in add-ons. Again, that was proven to be a load of nonsense, and that was there was the stories about that were cynical. So we have not yet come to any agreement on a fee. So Leicester want £80 million, as you all currently know. Initially, it did say from Bleacher Report though that his transfer from Leicester to Manchester United was very, very imminent. It did say initially he was going to be our third sign, and that is summer. But I want Harry Maguire at Manchester United, because he's well Premier League proven, so that's beneficial for us. He shows that ability to part from the back. He's good in the air. His work ethic's good. He's also tall as well, which is beneficial. And I think he'd blend in alongside Lindelof in our backline fantastically well. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's very fast, Harry Maguire, but I don't think that's a current issue. But we've been relentlessly linked with Harry Maguire anyway, and I think we was also tracking him when he was a youngster at Sheffield United, because he initially began his career in that with Sheffield United, and that's what, like I said, he was a product of their current academy. But I think, Mike Phelan, wants Man United to get the deal over the line. Mike Phelan was talking about this, was it quite a few weeks back now, but he actually instructed Manchester United to get a deal over the line because Mike Phelan managed Harry Maguire, during his short tenure with Hull, so he's keen on reuniting with him. But Harry Maguire's been at Leicester 2 seasons. He's got about 2 or 3 years of experience now under his belt in the Premier League. In his 2 years with Leicester, he's made 76 appearances in all competitions. 69 of those appearances have come in the Premier League, and he signed a 5-year. Did he sign a 5-year deal last summer with Leicester? So he's under contract with them until 2023. Leicester will make a huge profit on the player anyway if they get £80 million for him, because Leicester only got him for around £17 million from Hull City a couple of years ago. But I do like Harry Maguire a lot, and I think that he dramatically, he would improve his defensively, and he would be quite reliable. And also, he's demanded that he wants to become captain of Manchester United. Of course, if he does, currently coming, so maybe Manchester United may consider giving him the current captaincy. But like I said, there's been a lot of central defenders on our agenda, like I said. But Harry Maguire now is our number one defensive target. Obviously, with Koulibaly, we've been long admirers of the player. We've been relentlessly linked to him. He was one of the players Mourinho wanted last summer, just like Harry Maguire. But with Koulibaly, it probably cost a bit more than Harry Maguire, but I think there was a lot of contradictions to the stories about Koulibaly, and I think the only way we could get Koulibaly is if we was willing to pay, willing to pay silly amounts of money for him. So I'd say Koulibaly's out of the agenda. There's still people talking about Toby Alderweireld, and we do know Toby Alderweireld, would be a much cheaper solution than Harry Maguire. But I do believe now Toby Alderweireld, could actually be expected to stay with Tottenham. Could be expected, to currently stay with Tottenham. Was also in for Rafael Varane at one point. Well, obviously, De Ligt was one of our priority targets at one point, but he's now gone to Juventus, so that confirmed quite recently. So probably just get Harry Maguire, and I think he's the current best option. Still got a lot of development in, like I said, only 26 years of age. So the rumours will continue to persist about Harry Maguire. Brendan Rodgers has had his say on the Harry Maguire speculation. He's aware of Man United and Man City's interest, but Brendan Rodgers basically instructed Man United or City if they want to get him, we've got to heavy up about the business. So this is what Brendan Rodgers, I think, said the other week. But yeah, we've got to definitely get a central defender in. So that's one of the pivotal areas where we do need to strengthen up. Some people think that midfield and that right wing are actually more imperative areas to strengthen up, and recommending a central defender to currently come in. But like I said, there's still quite a bit to address in the squad. So reflecting about what I said about Lukaku, so he could be leaving now Manchester United. So obviously he wants to leave Manchester United, because obviously this morning, as obviously we jetted back to Manchester, from China. Obviously, Lukaku immediately, left Manchester, and obviously, went to Belgium to obviously, go meet up with his agents. That just significantly tells you that obviously Lukaku wants to leave the current football club. And obviously, there's been a few players on our agenda that could replace Lukaku at the football club. Don't forget, there's been quite a few players mentioned. Like I said, there's been a lot of talks about Nicolas Pepe. I don't think Nicolas Pepe is coming to Manchester United, because like he updated you today, it says reported Liverpool and Arsenal have agreed a deal in principle for Nicolas Pepe. I think he confirmed today, did Gerard, I updated you, he said Gerard Lopez, who's the president of Lille, he confirmed today that, he's received 4 bids for Nicolas Pepe, and he did say earlier on this week anyway, did Gerard Lopez, he said that, you know, Nicolas Pepe's permanent exit away from Lille is on the verge of completion. Even though it indicated out last weekend and early on this week that we was regarded as the favourites to sign Nicolas Pepe, but very, very sceptical about him, you know, currently, you know, coming to Manchester United. So I don't see that, you know, currently happening. People have been saying that Moussa Dembele would be good for replacing for Lukaku. You know, people have been saying, you know, that, you know, Cardi would be good for replacing for Lukaku. There was a lot of talks about Aubameyang the other week going on. You know, Wizem Ben Yedder, there's still people talking about him. So if Lukaku leaves the football club, you know, who should, you know, currently come in to currently replace him? So yeah, guys, so that's basically everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. I always enjoy, you know, talking to you guys about, you know, my team, Manchester United and football and all that. You know, you should follow me if you want to. It's up to you. But like I said, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Do consider subscribe to the channel. As always, we'll be back with more live videos very, very soon. Take care. God bless. Ta-ra for now.